this is daveac on Blip TV, and welcome to my, not vblog 40, but my type vblog 40. Well, we're visiting 3 worlds today and a wine. So let me kick off. Lots to cover, and I always seem to be in a rush. But well, as we know, nearly a fortnight ago, the Doctor Who special Planet of the Dead aired here in the UK. So this Sunday that's just gone, we had a really big podcasting weekend. The Gallifreyan Embassy, Lewis Cannon, unfortunately not James, had a live podshock that went out at the 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, talking about Planet of the Dead. Well over 80 people live in the room, all wanted to have the say, and with the pre-show it went on. Well, actually the actual recorded part was about 2 hours, and then Ian opened up our CIA podcast to follow straight on from that, where we carried on talking about David Tennant and the Planet of the Dead and Michelle Ryan and what we all thought of it. And those 2 shows are now up on the Torture site, are from iTunes. So we had an awful lot. We were all a little bit weary by the end of it. We'd had our headphones on for about 5 hours, but hopefully there's a lot there for you to listen to and either agree with or disagree, or even send some feedback to either of the 2 shows. So great Sunday, really. This coming Sunday we will be talking about, on CIA, we'll go back to our 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight slot, and we'll be talking about the new episodes of Red Dwarf. Now, I've got that little set up on my TV, and we're going to just have a look at that in a few moments. But just one other podcast to mention, and that was the Who on Who podcast. He had Lewis with him on that, David Huey, so it was Who and Lou on Who. So check that out. That's also available on iTunes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the TV and show this now. Hello.
It's got to be in the middle, you metal moron. Look, this is my vending machine maintenance man of the month certificate we are reframing here. My one and only Mr. April. There's no room for sloppiness. And you can take that look off your face for a start.
And I would have to stop it there. It is sad, but still. It was in 4 parts, 3 parts with the story, and then they had like a making of at the end. Now, I've said on Doctor Who recently that I like, should I say I miss the episode where you had cliffhangers, because of course, you know, a lot of the Doctor Who's now fit into one 45-minute storyline. Now with this, of course, there were 3 episodes of the Red Dwarf. In actual fact, that didn't work too well, because the middle episode, when you're watching it, you're thinking, not too sure these guys haven't lost it a bit here. I'm not too sure what to think of this. But if you watch, obviously, the story as it circles back to how they got into the situation, it then makes sense. So in actual fact, all I would recommend to you is do watch the new series of Red Dwarf, but watch them, you know, one after another, so you're not scratching your head wondering what's happening. Visually it looks really great, some smashing effects, and the guys, after the first few shaky minutes, get back into their characters, and I think it's a good, very watchable addition to the Red Dwarf story. So that's that. One other piece of news before I talk about 2 more worlds. That's one of the worlds returning back to Earth. I went to my pub last night, and they've been running these mastermind competitions. And for those who don't know, that's where you have to answer questions in 2 minutes on a specialist subject, and then 2 more minutes on general knowledge. Well, it was my turn last night, along with another chap doing about birds, and I got 16 points on the specialist subject, which of course was Doctor Who, and 15 on the general knowledge. So the score a fairly respectable score, I thought, of 31, and I quite enjoyed that last night. So that was good fun. Okay, a couple of other bits of news. Ashes to Ashes has got underway, and that made quite an explosive start. And Primeval has gone in a bit of a different direction. The acting is still not particularly brilliant, but the special effects of this latest one was really top notch. So definitely worth a watch. So I'm going to gadget today. I've got me light down there that I hope is helping to get a better picture. So it's time now to move on to the next of our worlds, and that is a PlayStation 3 game that I mentioned that my son had got, Little Big Planet. And we're going to go back over to the TV. Hopefully I can get it working. I've only tried this a few times, and each time I've gone on, there's been a software update. And it does say it's for 7-year-olds and up. Well, I think it might be for 7 to 10-year-olds, and anybody older than that is scratching their head a little bit. It's almost so easy, you wonder what you're having to press. Here we go. Oh, and this is where you can choose the different things. That was the introduction. Skate to Victory, tie skipping, play on my own. Just go to it just to show you what another level looks like, and then I'll stop it. But you can see how visually I got stuck. Oh, if you die, you come out of one of those little things. Oh dear. I think we're going to have to have another practice on this, don't you folks? Let's stop it there, because I haven't got that much time. I think you can see from that little experiment that I haven't quite spent enough time on getting around the Little Big Planet. But there's been so much going on. Oh, and that reminds me, another thing coming on. My ticket has arrived for Who at the Fab Cafe at long last. There's quite a group of people going. Obviously there'll be lots there, but just to name one or two people, Capricorn 1 has got his ticket, T. Jury's got his ticket, Michael the Tin Dog's got his ticket, and Steve Hatcher, who is one of the chaps from the Hoovers, and they are a Derbyshire based in the UK, a Derbyshire based Doctor Who group. There's about 9 of them going. So this is on Sunday the 3rd of May in Manchester in the UK, and the special guests, Colin Baker, Sylvester McCoy, Sophie Aldred, Nicola Bryant, and Mark Strickton, who played Thurlow. And there are one or two others, maybe the Doctor Who, the Moth Set Man Doctor Who scarf guy. But they can always change with the availability of these people. So that is not this Sunday, that is a week on Sunday. So in a couple of weeks, vblog 42, hopefully I'll be talking about that a little. Well, we've had 2 worlds, Red Dwarf world, the Little Big Planet world, which I didn't really show you very well. I might go back to that another time. The book is a 3rd world. And I've got it out to do a little bit of research for my mastermind effort, and it's the Gallifrey Chronicles. So it's not a story, it's like a little reference book. In fact, it's a lovely reference book. Let me see what it says. We've got any reference number of when it came out. Let me do that quickly. I always aware at the time when I'm doing these, it goes so fast. You wouldn't believe how fast the 2 minutes went on the thing. 1991 it came out, and it's written by John Peel. That can't be right, is it? Yeah. John Peel, Additional material by David Howe and Stephen James Walker, and cover illustrations by Andrew Stilliker. Well, there's lots on here. Look, here's a couple of pictures from Trial of a Time Lorder with Colin Baker there. There's a lot of colour images in here as well. 3 of the Doctors there, although that is actual fact Richard Hurdle playing the first Doctor in that picture there. Peter Davidson in his regalia. What else? Let's find some more colour ones for you. With Tom Baker, 4th Doctor. The White Guardian there next. Anthony Ainsley as the Master. It tells you all about the other Time Lords and the mythology. There's the meddling monk, about Rassilon itself. There's a picture of Leela. So it is really a smashing book, the Gallifrey Chronicles. I don't know whether it's still in print, but if you can get hold of it, perhaps from a second-hand bookshop or whatever, it is definitely full of interest for Doctor Who fans. Right, that's about it for the science fiction. I'm going to end after those 3 worlds on a wine. Haven't really, as I say, got a gadget today. I'm using that new big light. Hopefully that's helping with the illumination, although I've still had to use my extra light to sort of give some backlight here. Before I just go on to my wine, I had a bit of luck with the Naked Wines thing. Put in a bid for a mystery group of 6 red wines, and with a £10 Facebook voucher that I was able to use, only cost me 20 quid, so I'm really pleased. What did I get? I got a Brewery Hill Shiraz. All these mystery boxes, by the way, it might be different, so if you went to this you might get a different one. That's an Australian Shiraz. Baines Way, that was a South African Shiraz. Angel Share Merlot, I bet I won't tell you them all. A Malbec, a Temperello from Spain, and another a Rioja from Spain. So really looking forward to those, and I may well test 1 or 2 of those wines on later vlogs. But we're up to the tasting now, and we've got 3 or 4 minutes. Now, this is a wine that I've actually drunk once before when I've done my late night little chats online with with Ian, the 6th Doctor. And I wasn't too impressed then, I must admit. And it's a Yellowtail Chardonnay. But it's a quite well available wine. It's one of those wines you can get in most countries. Easily find it in the States, but it is a wine of southeastern Australia. A Chardonnay, as I said. This is a 2007, and it's 13.5% by volume. It's been out of the fridge a good, well, about half an hour now, really. So let's have a. We've got nice smell, a sort of a slightly tropical and citrusy smell. Pineapple, a kiwi, maybe. Let's have a little taste. Now we've got melon and peach. Hang on a minute. But this is, I think it's supposed to be like a citrus or a sharper edge that comes in underneath it. But to be frank, this is what I found when I tasted it a few months ago. There's quite a chemically, that's the only word, a sort of almost an industrial taste. I mean, this must be a mass-produced wine. It's not an expensive one. It's about what, £6. That's what, $8, €6, €7. It's a mass-produced wine, and to be frank, that's coming across. So we've got a nice mellow, as I say, melony, peachy sort of taste, but then it's undercut by a sort of slightly off scent and off taste. Let's see what it says. Let's see if it redeems itself. It says aromas, tropical fruits with a citrus lift. Flavours, peach and melon with a creamy finish. No. Peach and melon, yes. Creamy finish, no. Enjoy with good friends and a chicken salad. Well, that is a bit disappointing. I thought it may well have been the one I got last time that was not so good. I think that was 2006. This is 2007 and it displays the same thing. A nice on the nose, as I say, slightly tropical. The initial taste is nice, but then you get this roughish, manufactured taste. It doesn't taste, I don't know. This is the second bottle of Yellowtail Chardonnay I've drunk. I've got a feeling it might be the last Yellowtail Chardonnay I drink. Not really recommending that. So with that, a bit disappointing, I'm going to end my Type 40 Type TARDIS of daveac.blip.tv vblog. Catch you next week. Bye.